Hello everyone. So in this video we will learn how to use hypervisor, how to set up your lab which you got in your trainings. These two topics we will be discussing in this video. So first I will show you how to use that lab which you got on your emails. Then I will show how to use the hypervisor. So before telling you how to use your lab credentials, how to use hypervisor, first the main question is what is hypervisor? I I will tell you two things. Before knowing what is hypervisor, also you will need to know what is virtualization and what is virtual machines. Okay, so the definition for virtualization is, you can see here, it is a technology that allows us to create virtual machines of computing resources like servers, storage networks, even operating systems. This is done by a software to mimic the functions of physical hardware, enabling multiple. Leave it. I will tell you my own definition. So I have these diagrams with me. This is the easiest one. No, not this one. This one. So look at here. Imagine this is your PC. Okay. Now imagine this is your PC, your laptop LP. Okay. Now on this laptop you have this thing. Don't worry what is this. I will tell you what is this. And this we have our virtual machines, which you know what is a virtual machine. Okay. In virtual machine, we have operating system like Windows 10 or server. We have apps. Okay, so let's see what is virtualization. Virtualization is a technology which will which will divide your physical resources. For example, this laptop has 8 GB RAM. 8 GB RAM. It has 10 core processor. 10 core. I'm doing this with mouse, that's why it is showing, it is being like this. So please don't mind this. So what do we have? We have 18 GB RAM, 18 GB RAM, sorry, 8 GB RAM. We have 10 core CPU, and we have some storage 500 GB, something something. Okay. Now what will this technology will do? This technology, not this server. Okay. Just focus on this word, this particular word, virtualization. This technology will divide this 8 GB RAM into some, say you have given 2 GB. Okay, it will take 2 GB from it 8 GB. Then it will take some two cores. Then it will take some 40 GB. 40 GB. Okay, so how much did it took? It took 2 GB from 8 GB RAM. It took two cores from 10 cores. It took 40 GB from 500 GB. So what did it do? It took some part of our physical machine, and then it is using that parts of our these parts. It is using these parts to create a new environment which will exactly act like our physical machine. Did you understand? This technology is taking some parts of our physical machine, and then using those parts it is mimicking exact our physical machine environment, and it is creating an environment which is exactly like act like our physical machine. Okay, that environment is called virtual machine. Now if we can add any operating system here, we can add any apps here, it is exactly like your physical machine. It will have RAM, it will have storage, it will have internet adapter, because it will also take your, for example, you have network adapter here, network adapter. Okay, so it will use your network adapter as its own network adapter. So it is also connected to internet. So it will use all of your physical resources as its own resources and act like an independent machine. But in reality it is a part of our physical machine because it is installed on this software. It is installed using this technology, and it is under our main physical machine. So it is like a slave. We can do anything with this. Okay, now to use this technology, so all we are doing here is we are using this technology, virtualization. Now to use this technology we have some softwares. One, we have VMware, I have created already a video. VMware, we have virtual box, uh, virtual box, and one we have hypervisor. So in this video we are going to see hyper hypervisor. So this is one I have already created video. This video is for hypervisor. So what will this software will do is it is an inbuilt feature of Windows Pro versions of operating systems. For example, Windows 11 Pro, Windows 10 Pro, right? So this is a inbuilt technology Microsoft has given us to experiment or to create virtual machine, to not experiment, to create virtual machines and to use it. Okay, so now this software is uses virtualization technology to create virtual machine. Let me create oh my god, how do I show this? I will need to erase everything. So what is this software doing? It is using this technology, and using this technology it is creating virtual machines inside the software, right? Inside this software it is using this technology and it is creating these virtual machines. Now this software is called Virtual Machine Monitor, VMM. VMM. Virtual Machine Monitor. The software is called Virtual Machine Monitor. So VMware is a virtual machine monitor, Hypervisor is a virtual machine monitor, and VirtualBox is also a virtual machine monitor. Why? Because in this, it monitors the virtual machine, it creates them, it manages them, it deletes them, we can retrieve them, we can open existing virtual machines. So what is it doing? It is doing all the monitoring activities. So it is a virtual machine monitor software. Okay, this one is virtual machine monitor software. So hypervisor done, virtualization done, what virtual machines done, and what is VMM is done. In this virtual hypervisor, there are some additional features as well for network adapter and all. We have external, internal default network adapter types, and in VMware, it automatically detects, it automatically does things. So this is more like advanced features, and VMware is like more basic features. We can enable advanced features, but basic features will work for us in VMware. So we were using basic features. Now, look, this is our, and this is also a good picture, this is also a good picture. So let me show you in this picture. Okay, so look, this is a server hardware. Hardware means our uh, RAM, CPU, storage. Okay, so this is our hardware, this is our host OS. Like it means our main OS, our physical machine. This completely is our, this is completely our physical machine, and this host OS means what operating system you have on your main machine, physical machine. This hypervisor is our software. What is it? VMM software. What is it? Virtual machine monitor software. This hypervisor will use this technology called virtualization, and it will allow us to create different virtual machines. One, two, and three. Now these virtual machine will also have one operating system, which we will say guest operating system. Okay. For example, this has Windows 10, this has server, this has Linux. So look at here. We only had Windows 11. Okay, this is Windows 11. We only had Windows 11. Now we have privilege of using Windows 10. We have privilege of using Windows Server. We have privilege of using Linux. So we can experiment on different operating systems. We can use different operating systems by the help of virtualization technology. And again, then we install some apps in our operating system like Linux. Then we add some services here like domain server. We add what, some DSCP server in this server. Then in this Windows we add some more features and some more software. So this is all about hypervisor, virtualization, virtual machines, And what is the use of virtual machines? Why do we use virtual machines? I have told all of that. Cancel. Okay. Now I also have one more diagram. So if you want to take a picture of what will you take here, man? Cancel. Okay, I have to do okay. And this picture, look, this is one more picture. So look, forgot this, forgot this. This is our host. Look, this is one section, right? This is one section. Inside this we have physical machine. Inside physical machine we have operating system. Inside this operating system we have hypervisor. Okay. So hypervisor is a software, VMM software, and then inside this hypervisor we are using virtualization, which will create our operating system. Sorry, virtual machines 1, 2, and 3. These are called and then in these virtual machines we will be having operating systems of different types like Windows, Linux, server. So these are called guest OS. This is called host OS. Okay. These virtual machine will be using specifications of our main physical machine. So if we have 16 GB of RAM, we are creating 2 GB virtual machines of, for example, 10 virtual machines, and then we are turning all of them at one time. Creating is not a problem, but we are turning on every single machine at the same time. You don't even have this much physical RAM. How will it work in the this? How will it work in virtual machines, right? If you are using a physical machine, and if we are using lab credentials which is given by the sir, then you can create multiple virtual machines because it also has a specification, right? So we are accessing it by internet. It will not use our physical resources. It will just use our network adapter or something that like that resources, and internet. It will use our internet and network adapter, and then it will not use our these resources. Okay, remember this. The lab which we have got provided, it will not use our physical machine resources. It will use those resources from internet. We are accessing that machine from internet. It is an online virtual machine. You can say cloud virtual machine. We are using those specifications, 16 GB RAM they are giving us. So we are using that from their server. We are not using our physical machine. Okay. Now let's cancel. I guess I have explained everything about these. Okay. So I close this. Now let's again come back to the professional definition. I also have one definition which is only single one liner, but we will read first this one. What is this? Virtualization is a technology, okay, that allows, oh my god, that allows you to create virtual versions. What is this? Virtual versions of computing resources like networks, storage, and servers, and even entire operating system. So we can create what? We can create servers. For example, we have one server. Inside that server, by using virtualization, by using hypervisor, we can create one more server. So inside the server, we have one more server. Inside inside Windows 11, we have one more in Windows 11. So what are we doing? We are creating versions of computing resources. Okay. You can read all of this by pausing the video. Cost saving, flexibility, increase efficiency. How it works. Virtualization uses software called a hypervisor to create virtual layer over the physical hardware. Look at here, I just explained this. This layer allows the physical resources to be shared and allocated to multiple virtual machines, and each acting like a separate computer. I already told you in a layman, and this is a professional. Let's just directly jump into our lab, how to access the lab. Just a minute. So for setting up lab, I have created a separate video. I have uploaded that video. I will add the link of that video in the description. Please watch that video to set up the lab. So demo desktop done. How to connect I have showed. I will now show how to use hypervisor. Okay. So let's just go to hypervisor. Two things. If you are not able to see this hypervisor here like this, then you have to enable virtualization in your BIOS, then do the next steps. I have created a video on this, and please watch that video. I will add the link. After enabling virtualization, you need to go to control panel and then enable Hyper-V. Let's go. Here I have three virtual machines. Okay, imagine this is my first time opening this hypervisor. What will I do here? I don't know anything. This is my desktop. In your virtual lab, it will show CTC, and people who are using their own system, it will show your desktop name here. Click here. This will be blank for you. Okay, these are all options will be gone. Wait, like you will be seeing this section like this, and there will be nothing here. You need to do two things here. Okay, you need to do two things. First, go to your Hyper-V settings. Look at here in this section actions. You will see Hyper-V settings. Here you need to do two things. First, go to virtual hard disks. Okay, browse here. Whatever path here it is given, don't worry. Browse here. Go to a location. For example, I am in hard drive F. I have enough storage here. I have 200 GB storage here, so I am using this one. You can use any of your drive, whatever drive you have in your system. You can use C drive also. I will show you how to use C drive. So in this volume, create a folder called Hyper-V VMs. Okay, create a folder called Hyper-V VMs. Inside this folder, create a folder called VHDs. For what? For our virtual hard disk. I will click here. This is the folder. I will say select folder. Okay, here VHD selected. Now go to virtual machines. Again go to browse. So in the drive which you have created your Hyper-V VMs folder, this folder, go to same drive, select that folder, create a new folder called VMs. In this your VMs will be stored. In this your hard disk will be stored, and in this your VMs will be stored. Okay, click here, select folder. Done. First step done. Cancel. Second step, let's go to virtual switch manager. Okay. In this I will do one thing. I will just remove this. I will do one thing. I will remove this also. I will show you from starting. Okay, now we have nothing here. For example, you have opened it fresh. You don't know anything here. Okay, look here. Here is small letter. It is written that new virtual network switch. What is it saying? New virtual network switch. Click here. Click one external. I will show you the purpose of the external. First, let's just create external. Click create. Here, just give one name external. External. Okay, done. Here, this is my. Wait a minute. What is happening? Yeah, this is my current network adapter which I have installed in my PC. So I need to select this one. Okay, whatever adapter you have, don't choose any of these. If you are using, listen, if you are using your own physical PC, you will be looking something like this. Select that. If we are using labs provided by teachers, you will be having no option of all of this. There will be only one option, something like this, virtual network adapter, something like this. You will be having. It will be automatically selected, and you will be having no other options. So you have to keep it like that only. Now I will click apply. Yes, it is creating my external switch, network switch. Done. Now I will go to again here virtual network switch. I will click here internal. I will create. I will tell you the reason why we are creating this. First, let's just create. I will click create. It is already selected. I will just give a name. Okay. Internal. Apply. Okay. So we have internal and we have external. Now, what is the purpose of external switch? The purpose of external switch is, for example, this is your virtual machine. Now this virtual machine doesn't have any, because for example this is using my hard disk for 30 GB. It is having an own operating system Windows 11. It is having RAM 16 GB, sorry 2 GB, and it is having all of these three specifications. Now it needs internet. How will this virtual machine connect to internet? Because we are not, there is no physical network adapter. So what will it do? We will, while creating this, I will show you by editing this settings. Look, network adapter configuration checkpoint external. So here we have network adapter. Here we have given external. Why it was showing configuration error? Because just now I deleted all those and it went offline. So here in this network adapter, while creating the virtual machine, I will show you how to create. So while creating the virtual machine, it will ask you that do you need internal virtual network adapter, do you need external, or do you need default? So if I select external, my that current virtual machine will be able to access my physical machine's network adapter. Okay. In VMware software, it is automatically configured external. In here, we will have to give it external. Okay. Apply. Okay. So now it has an external network adapter given, which means this virtual machine will going to use my this current Wi-Fi configurations. Okay. Now let's do one. You will ask now that what is the internal thing. Now imagine these both things I haven't given external network adapter, so they are not using my physical machine's adapter. Now I want to still, but if they are not connected to the internet, they don't have network settings, but still I want this machine DC01 and this machine to connect to communicate with each other. Okay, I want both of these machines to communicate with each other. How will they communicate? We need some method, right? So then for that we have internal virtual switch. What will internal virtual switch do? It will create its own virtual adapter. Mm, internal. So what will it do? It will create its own independent virtual network adapter. That network adapter will be able to communicate. I don't need to give external. I will give this one only. So what will this do? And both of these should be set on the internal only. This is internal. This is internal. Then only they will be able to communicate. So for example, this has an internal connection. This has an internal connection. So these both are be like हम दोनों भाई भाई चलो बातें करते हैं. That's like that. So this internal is able to connect to this internal, but this internal is not able to connect to this external because this is external. It has different configurations. These both have different configurations because these are internal. So this external will not be able to communicate with any of the internal, and this any of the internal will not be able to communicate with any of the external. Okay. Oh, I am speaking so fast. I will slow down. Phew. Now, switch done and settings done. Let's create a new virtual machine. I will click here. Look, this is my physical machine. Okay. Inside this physical machine, I need a virtual machine. I will right click here, virtual machine. We have one more way. Here we also have actions. Inside the actions, we have new, we have virtual machine. Right click here. Here, this is just some things it is saying us. Click finish to create a virtual machine that is configured with default values. If we directly click finish, it will create one virtual machines which will have default things. If we not want default things, we need our custom configurations which we need. Yes, so we will go to next. I will give a name called demo. Now remember we have given locations inside the Hyper-V settings. This is the location. Okay, so I will go to next. We need to use generation 1. Okay, these generation 2 are not supported on low end PCs. These are not supported on less expensive PCs. Generation 2, because it is an advanced technology, it has UEFI, it needs virtualization features, it needs 64-bit operating system. So this is so advanced for our purpose. We are not using it for that advanced purposes. Generation 1 is what? It is basic we need 32-bit or we need 64-bit, and it will be having virtual hardware which our Hyper-V provides. Basic things we are using for basic things, so we will select basic one. Let's go to next. Here I will give 2 GB of RAM. Now why are we giving 2048? So remember our RAMs go like 512. Then what is 512? It is 500 GB. We say 500 GB RAM. Okay, sorry, not 500 GB. Why did I say 500 GB? 500 MB will be denoted by 512. 1 GB will be denoted by 1024. So in 1 GB we have 1024 MB. In 2 GB we have 2048 MB. This is basic things. I will choose here no dynamic memory, because dynamic memory, which means it will increase memory. For example, I am using Premiere Pro. Look, Premiere Pro is very heavy software. I am using in this virtual machine Premiere Pro, and Premiere Pro needs 5 GB of RAM, and I have configured only 2 GB of RAM. If I keep this selected, Premiere Pro what will do? It will increase dynamically without we giving it that this software needs 5 GB. We have 2 GB, so it will communicate with system of with our physical system. It will say, "Hey, please thoda mujhe de de," and it will take some RAM from physical machine, and then it will increase the RAM of our current machine for that particular task. After that task completed, after Premiere Pro closed, it will give that memory back to the system. ले ले तू तेरा वापस ले ले. Okay, let's go to. We don't need this because we are not doing heavy task. Next. Now here I told you it will ask for networking, like network switch. Here I will give external because I need to connect it to the internet. I will give it my own this one. Then here I will give what is the size of our virtual machine. Okay, I will give 30 GB, and this is the hard disk which will be mounted on the virtual machine we are creating. Okay, this is the storage where it will be stored. Remember we given this storage inside Hyper-V settings. Next, install an operating system later. Why are we installing later? I will tell you this also. Why are we installing later? Let's go next. These are the things external. This is where our hard disk is stored. The generation 1 demo name 2 GB RAM. Operating system will be installed later. Let's go finish. It is creating disk. It is creating everything. This is our machine. Now I will tell you why I said I will install operating system later. Because we have some settings inside this virtual machine. Before powering it on, we need to change their settings. Let's go click on here. Look, there is nothing here. Click on here. You can see details, and then you can see settings for demo. Look at here demo. You can see settings for demo. Everything here. You can start from here. You can connect from here. You can change settings. You will go to settings. Here, this is for adding new hardware. We can add new network device. We can have a CSI controller. We can add a fiber channel adapter. We don't need to add new hardware. We will use existing hardware. Okay. If you have used virtual machine, you know how to add a new hardware. Okay. Click here, add hardware. Done. In this BIOS, now what is BIOS? Input output, basic input output system. Okay. What will it do? If we give here CD, CD means, look, I will show you the startup order. I will tell you the meaning of this. In this is exactly like our physical machine. Like in our physical machine, when we go to BIOS, we will be having this type of startup order. So it will boot from CD. Why? Because it is first. If the CD fails, or if there is no CD, it will go to IDE. If there is no IDE, it will go to this. It is if there is not this, it will go to floppy. Okay, so this is the order. If we don't even have CD, it will automatically go to IDE. If we don't even have IDE, it will automatically go to legacy. But it will, at the end of the day, it will try to boot your system. If you are given all this, in which order you have given, it will boot in that order. Now we will be booting from CD. Why? I will tell you this also. We need 2 GB RAM. I will give the less processor because we are not doing heavy tasks. Here, this is our hard disk. We don't need to change here. Look, in DVD drive, remember we have not given any ISO file to our virtual machine. We said we will install operating system later. For installing operating system, we need ISO file. I'll click here image file. We are booting ISO file from DVD drive. Okay. Do you remember previously, बहुत पहले जमाने में there used to be CDs for Windows installation, right? When we went to go to buy Windows 10 or Windows 11, sorry Windows 11 था ही नहीं उस time पे. So when we used to buy Windows 7, 8, 10, they used to give us CDs. we used to put CDs in our system, and then we used to install operating systems. Now they used to give, now they are giving pen drives because CDs are discontinued. So now they are giving pen drives. But before this, they used to give CDs. So that's why it is saying that we will install from CD. Okay, as you wished. I just need my operating system. Look at here, I will install my 2016 version. I told you how to download this. I will attach the link in the description. Please keep downloading all this. Now it is selected. Now remember, this is what DVD drive. What is it doing? Boot from CD DVD, right? So now, what this BIOS will do? This will go to CD. This will come to here. Here where? Here. It will come here and it will ask, "Hey CD, do you have ISO file to install operating system?" CD will say, "Yes, I have." Then it will go to again BIOS and it will say, "Yes, yes, we have CD. We have ISO file in the CD. So let's install." If this CD is completely not available, if I remove completely this CD, then it will go to IDE. It will ask IDE, "Hey IDE, do you have operating system?" IDE will say, "Yes, I have operating system." So it will boot from there. Okay, this done. We have given this. Now there are some more settings. This integration, we have to add guest services because we will be using guest services. We don't need checkpoints. If you need checkpoints, you can add. If you don't know what is checkpoint, it is better you don't add it. This we don't need to change anything. We don't need to change anything. We don't need to change anything. Click apply. So this was all about creating virtual machine, editing whatever settings we needed to edit in the Hyper-V software we edited. So this everything I have added whatever we needed to know about the Hyper-V. I showed you how does Hyper-V works. I showed you on what technology Hyper-V works. I showed you why do we use a virtualization. If you don't remember, just was the starting introduction. I showed you how to connect to remote desktop, our lab things, and now let's just power this up. We don't need to do anything. We will click here connect. Now we will click here start. It will power up. Now after powering it up, the basic Windows installation process we need to follow. I will fast forward this 800%, which is like not 2x, not 4x, it will be 8x. So after creating the virtual machine, we have one last step to do here. We need to go to we need to click here on demo, our virtual machine, whatever your virtual machine is, click on it, go to settings. Now in this, we need to change this boot menu from CD to IDE. I will tell you why we are moving. We need to make IDE the first priority. Now imagine you have this ISO file, Windows Server ISO file inside the CD, and our primary device is CD. So first time it will boot, it will install the operating system inside the storage device, which is IDE. Okay, IDE is our storage device. Now imagine if we don't change the CD from IDE, I mean if we keep this CD as it is, when we next time boot the machine, it will again go to this ISO file, again it will install the operating system from CD, right? It will not use the existing one. So here, if we select IDE, it will use the already installed one to boot up our virtual machine. Okay, remember this step is crucial. Don't leave the video. Look at this. Look at this. It is booting up from. already installed Windows. If you click here, it will go automatic alt control alt delete here. Congratulations, you learned virtualization, you learned how to create virtual machine, you learned how to use hypervisor, you learned how to connect your lab credentials inside your PC. Let's just shut down. I don't need this. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked this video, please comment down below. Also, I have added videos for how to use VMware, how to download, how to use VMware, how to create virtual machine in VMware, how to install Windows 10 in VMware, how to install server Windows Server in VMware, how to download server ISO file, how to download Windows 10 ISO file, how to download Windows 2019 ISO file. I have added links for three of them. I also file link for Windows 10. I also file link for Windows 11. I also file no, sorry. I also file link for Windows 10. I also file link for Windows Server 2016. I also file link for Windows 2019. I have added links of how to create file server, how to backup file server, how to access file server. I have created for video for domain controller. I have created video for RAID volumes, how to create, how to fix, how to break, how to backup. Okay, so all these are created videos. I will add the playlist link in the description. Please go and check out.